All right, we are live. So, should we start by introducing ourselves?
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm Emma from the channel Muggle Glamour.
I'm Mia from the channel Mia Rose Reads.
I'm Cecilia from That Disney Chick.
Oh no, what was that? Okay. I'll go. I'm Sarah from Simply Sarah.
Cool. So, for the month of May, we were reading A Curse so Dark and Lonely by Brigid Kemmerer. And should we start by saying what we rated it?
Yeah, go ahead. You go first. Emma.
Yes.
I think I should have checked my Goodreads first. 1 second. I gave it a 3.5.
I gave it a 4 star.
I'm thinking a 4.5 is what I'm gonna go with.
I'm thinking 4.5/4.75. Like,
Okay.
I'm being petty. I don't want to give it a 5-star, but
I like it.
but yeah, I'm going around that area.
I respect that.
So we like this one better than Renegades.
Yeah, thank God. Oh my God. I was so scared we were
Thank the Lord.
But this is so good. We all kind of like it at least.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. So how should we start? Like, what do you guys want to talk about first?
So, okay, can I just start with asking what you guys thought of the romance? Because that is like a very controversial thing, isn't it? I see a lot of people hate it and some people love it. So what did you guys think of it?
I liked it somewhat. In the beginning, I didn't like it at all. I was like really testy on it, and then because at first I was just like, Gray is adorable, and I know he's gonna be my favorite, and I want her to be him. But then, like, as it went on, I was like, okay, this is probably like the first love triangle / thing where I actually like both dudes, and it's so rare because I wasn't just rooting for one person the whole time. But like, I think part of the reason why I didn't like it fully was because you knew that she was gonna end up with Ren, because of course it's the retelling of
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I don't know, I don't want to feel forced into liking that pairing when I know that's gonna be the end game or whatever. So that's kind of what kept me from being like totally into it. But I think as it went on and you learned more about Ren, then I was just like, yeah, okay, he's cute. I like him. That's cool.
Yeah, I thought it was fine, but like you said, like it was kind of predictable since we already know the story. So I don't know. I didn't think they were like especially cute together. But I don't know. I typically am not super into romance in fantasy books anyway. So I don't know. It didn't really do it for me. But then I'm like, what's a romance in a fantasy that's ever like done it for me? So I don't know.
Yeah, because I tried tabbing this time for the first time ever, and I used pink tabs for romance. And like, the majority of my tabs were for Grey. I actually thought he was a very better love interest. I used a green tab, which meant like things I didn't like, and I used that to describe Ren. At one point, I didn't really love his character. I mean, he did get better towards the end, but I didn't like him as much. Like, Grey was my favorite character.
Yes,
What
Gray.
is the sound?
Huh? Yeah, I don't know. I think it's an echo.
Did someone have their sound on for the live show? Because I turned mine down.
Yeah, mine's off.
I have headphones.
Oh, okay.
I can't hear you.
Gotcha. Okay, I think we're good. I don't hear it anymore.
Yeah, I don't either.
Okay, for the romance, I know a specific. Okay, at first I didn't like it, but there was a specific scene that made me fall for it. It was, I think it was the second night they were in the inn,
Mm-hmm.
when they both became vulnerable to each other. I was like, yes. After that moment, I was into it. Because before that, I hated Harper as a character. Like I hated that bitch. And, and at that point, I was like, okay, you can be with my son. You can be with him. It's fine. I'm fine with this. But the thing is, I never found Gray as like a potential love interest. I never saw never saw it as like a love triangle. I always saw him as like, oh, he's kind of like the best friend. He's always like the third wheel. He's kind of like a mediator between the two. Like you kind of always have that one friend that helps mediate that beginning relationship. And that's what I felt like he was.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, so I didn't see any romance between them.
Yeah, no, I just kind of preferred him because I didn't think he was meant to be a love interest. But then I got confused with like what he was. I don't know. But, you know, I did like them a lot more towards the end, Ren and Harper. I didn't.
I know that in the sequel, Gray is supposed to have his own love interest. I saw it on Goodreads, the author.
I thought it was meant to be standalone.
I
Yeah,
saw it when I went on today. So.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it being a series.
I don't know, like it kind of, if they didn't have that epilogue, I think it would have been perfect as a standalone. But since I think they added that epilogue, that makes me curious.
Yeah.
How curious am I is the real question. Okay.
For sure. Sarah said in the comments that she can't hear Cecilia's audio.
Really? Let me figure that out.
Yes, I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
For what?
It's killing me.
For about Gray? Oh my gosh. Okay, so I didn't figure this out. Okay, so I can hear myself on the live stream.
Yeah.
But Sarah can't hear me.
I can hear you.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it's
Only
my
me.
connection.
Technology hates me, you guys.
Sarah, do you want to try like exiting out and then adding yourself back in?
Yeah, let me see if I can do that.
Okay.
Okay.
So, what did you guys think of the like disability rep and stuff in it?
I think
I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was like a good balance of like it didn't super focus on it, but then it was just kind of like dropped in there, which I thought was really cool. And I don't like a lot of fantasies I've read don't have that.
It's worse.
So.
Oh my god, wait. Cecilia, speak to me.
Hello, can you hear me? Is that a no?
Oh!
No.
The world is out to get me.
I don't know what's happening.
Why?
So yeah, the chat says that they can hear me, but I don't know.
Let's see.
No. Technology really hates us today.
Yeah.
Evidently.
It's gonna be our
Oh, maybe you have me muted. Wait, let me put in the chat. Maybe Sarah has me muted because you can mute
I
specific
can only
people.
hear Mia now.
Huh?
What'd you say? I feel like Sarah said she could only hear Mia now.
Me.
Okay.
Me. Can you hear me, Sarah?
Ask her to check see if we're accidentally muted because she might have accidentally muted us. Like specific, because you can
I
mute.
feel like I should just be banned from all computers and just leave it at that. Microphone, put in output. Okay. I don't want to delay it, so maybe I'll just be in the comments.
Are you sure?
And that's probably what's best. That way I can hear it through the.
Yeah.
I tried to talk and she doesn't hear me.
Yeah. Okay, Sarah. Okay.
Sadness.
Oh, it's so sad.
No.
Remember. Oh god.
No, it's so sad. We'll have to figure this out.
Yeah.
So, Mia, did you say what you liked about, or how you felt about the disability rep?
I thought it was really good. Yeah, I thought it was amazing because so many like YA or books like that don't really include kind of representation of disabilities and stuff, and I thought it was really well done. So I thought that was amazing. And I was quite uneducated, but I didn't know that much. Oh my god. My mum is calling me once. No, I'm live on YouTube.
That's hilarious.
Oh my god. That was my sister, I'm sorry.
You're good.
Right,
Oh my gosh.
anyway, guys,
Oh wait, I forgot what we were on. Oh, I do have a question about. Totally lost my train of thought. How did you guys think the plot went? Did you think it? I'm assuming we all know like the typical story of Beauty and the Beast. Do you think it should have went more like straight away from the fairy tale or more closer to the fairy tale? What do you think? Because I noticed that there were like the actual curse was quite different than the than the fairy tale and the Disney version. So I want to see what you guys think. I'm curious.
I think I quite liked the way it went. I thought it had a bit of differences, which I think the whole kind of kingdom aspect with the beast eating all the people in the kingdom was a bit. Does that happen in the original Beauty and the Beast? Not that I know of, but they really explored that a lot, which I thought was really interesting. And they like went out to visit everyone and stuff. And also, yeah, I liked the ending. I don't want to do spoilers in case people are watching it who haven't watched the whole thing yet, but there was at the ending, I think, ended a bit differently than what you slightly expect, which I thought was pretty good. It wasn't really cheesy and corny. It took a bit of time.
Yeah. Sarah says, I love how the plot was so different from the fairy tale because it made it less predictable.
Yeah,
I agree. I feel like it could have been even more different. I don't know, because like overall, I enjoyed the book, but maybe I just thought it was too long. Like it was really long, and I feel like it didn't need to be. So maybe that's part of it. I don't know. I just felt like I liked the story, but it just felt like I don't know. I didn't like super enjoy it, and I don't know if that has to do with it being too similar to the fairy tale, like more than I thought it would be, or just because I felt like it was like 100 pages too long. I don't know.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I don't think as much as I was expecting to happen happened.
Yeah.
A lot more happened towards the end, which is good. But the first bit, I think it could have been condensed a bit more and then maybe lengthened out the end bit, maybe. So more stuff happened towards the middle. But yeah, I do get what you mean. I don't feel as much happened as I was expecting, which is why I didn't give it a 5 stars myself.
Yeah, like I felt like, I don't know, like when you're playing with retellings, I feel like there's like a fine line of like, if you make it too similar, people are going to say like, oh, you copied the fairy tale. But if you make it too different, people are going to say like, well, this really wasn't a retelling because like you don't have this in it. So I feel like if Brigid Kemmerer went either way, she would get criticized. So I think that the way she went was like a smart move, where you could obviously see the elements of it, but it wasn't exactly she still added different things into it. But yeah, I definitely think it was too much. Yeah, too long. As someone who read like all of this basically in one night, that was the time. That last night was the time. Last night was the time.
Yeah, it was. Sarah says it was so long because she kept second guessing Ren.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it was like there's just so much like her inner thoughts that like I was getting so annoyed with. And I was like, I wish she would just like do things and we could infer as readers of like what she was thinking instead of us having to read like pages and pages of like her inner conflict.
true.
Yes.
I don't know.
I feel that.
There was a specific line that I loved in this book, and it said, I can't remember exactly where the line was, but it said something like, where basically Ren was like, I just felt like being petty. And I was like, me with Harper, because I swear to God, if she contradicted Ren one more time, I would have chucked this damn book across the room, even though it's a library book and I don't want to get fined again. But
Same.
What you mean when
she was so freaking annoying.
Like, because she was the princess of DC, she kept doing like random things without asking people.
Yeah.
Right. And it's weird because like she'd use that as like like you told me to pretend to be this princess, so I'm going to do whatever I want. And then half the time she like doesn't play that card. And then she's like, you're forcing me to be someone I don't want to be. And then like 20 pages later, it's like the complete opposite. I don't know.
Yeah, you're like, okay, ho, like what you doing? I don't know.
So how do you guys, going off of Sarah's comment in here, how do you guys feel about Lilith?
Oh, I thought I didn't like that.
This bitch.
That bitch.
That bitch. Ooh. I think that she was an interesting character because usually, in previous like retellings, you usually don't see the person who puts the curse on.
Yeah.
So I thought it was interesting to see that and see how, her relationship to Ren. I thought it was stupid how the curse actually started.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought she overreacted. She's a bit of a dramatic bitch. She really overreacted, didn't she? Like, oh my god. Like, seriously.
She was like, oh my god, I wanted a relationship. He wanted a one-night stand. I guess I'm gonna curse him for all eternity. Like, what?
Yeah. I did think that was a bit of a stupid reason, but I guess she's just meant to be a very dramatic, over-the-top, crazy character.
And I feel like she wasn't in it enough. Like, the fact that, like, she was a character in it, I thought was cool, but then she was, like, rarely ever there. And then she'd just show up at, like, weird points in time. I don't know.
She showed up when the plot got stale.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, look who's here. It's like, okay.
You're like, hey, look here. Now the time to stretch this out for another 30 pages.
It would have been cool if we had like sections from her point of view. I feel like.
That would have been really interesting, I think. But I think it also would have been hard to show her. Actually, no, that could have been a really interesting thing to see, wouldn't it? Like, see all her jealousy and stuff, but...
Yeah, or like, you could like split it up, so it's not like every third one is Lilith's perspective, but like just drop it in there a couple times. I don't know, because she has like she has such a big impact on the entire plot, but then she's like never actually there, except when it starts getting slow. So
yeah, that's true.
I don't know, and I feel like I don't know anything about her.
Sure, and we're told she does all these things, but we're not really shown that like, oh, hey, she tortures him on the daily, other than like 2 scenes, and they're like, all right, cool. Yeah. And then you see like, oh, she has all this influence, but you're like, but does she really? Like, I don't know. So what did you guys think about, I guess the magic system? Which I felt like was like a paragraph thrown away in like page 250 or something.
Sorry.
I was like, what are you looking at?
Mom, give me
Oh.
Please go away. Guys, I'm really sorry. I knew this would be bad. I feel like we were on my phone. Right, anyway. Sorry, Stevie, you're saying. Sorry, they think it's really funny.
Oh, you're good. I was saying, like, what did you guys think of, I guess, the magic system and, like, how they're kind of, like, magic would happen sometimes in the book, but I feel like it wasn't really explained. Like, I felt like it was explained in, like, 1 paragraph, and I got really confused.
Yeah, I was going to say, I got so confused by the whole, like, sorceress thing. You know, can I say a spoiler yet? If you're watching and you haven't read it yet all the way, spoiler coming. But I was really confused by the end. I don't know if I was just skipping bits and being stupid, but the bit at the end where it turned out like Gray's true heritage and he was the sorcerer or something. Did I get that wrong? And somehow I don't remember. Did the sorceress Lilith? Was she with Ren's dad? Is that how he was born?
See, I don't actually. So Nepa just said, "Wait, there's magic other than Lilith." I'm like, yeah, exactly. Like, I don't actually know how he was born. Also, how did Gray teleport between worlds? Other than like, I feel like that wasn't. He just did he like snap to get there? Did he like?
Okay.
Will it? I don't remember.
Can we talk about how creepy it is that like he just like sends him out to go find random girls to like try and help him break the curse?
Yeah.
Like it's so creepy. And
oh my god.
I don't know. I'm just like, ew, that's so gross.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sarah said that it said the king slept with an enchantress.
Just a random enchantress, then, not Lilith, then.
I don't think it was Lilith because Lilith didn't know who the heir was. That like the other heir was until like the very end.
She couldn't have given birth. Yeah.
And they gave the kid, to Gray's mom, but. Yeah. I don't know why, but I just knew that plot twist was going to happen. Once they said that there was an heir, I'm like, that was so easy to figure out.
Well, I was like, there's another enchanter, like another person who has magic. I was thinking it's just going to be one of the main characters, isn't it? So it's just process of elimination.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's like we only know one other person, so it's got to be them. Unless they just like some random person we've never met, actually, because that would be
that would be a bit bad. Yeah.
What did you guys think about the slap? Sarah wants to talk about the slap.
Oh my god, the slap.
What happened at the slap?
It was during the second, and where I said I was starting to get into the couple, and I believe it was, I'm trying to recall this off memory, but I believe that like Ren gave his feelings out or something, and she was crying about her brother, and she slapped him and then closed the door randomly, and I was like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Never talked about again.
I did think some of Harper's actions were a bit odd.
So,
I did
what was the point of that slap?
A bit of a dick at the start, though, so I can see why she would get annoyed with him. But there were definitely some strange actions on her behalf. I know.
Yeah, she was like weirdly impulsive sometimes, and then other times is like the pages and pages of her like doubting everything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It didn't make any sense. Consistent as a character.
And was like, Ren would always throw her words in her face, and she would be like, "Oh, well, guess I fucked up," and then like constantly.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Sarah mentioned that scene where they play cards. That was so cute. That was probably my favorite scene.
Did it for me.
Yeah.
The one with Gray and the one with Ren, both of those cards, all the card playing scenes. I want to play that game of cards. That sounds fun.
Yeah, we need like
same.
Like we just need to make that card set. It'll be great.
We do.
I'm down for it.
I'm really sorry, guys. I need to go. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, you're good.
I'm really sorry. Okay. I hope you have a good rest of the live show, and I had a lot of fun reading this book. So, everyone who's watching, you need to go and vote in our poll, okay?
Yes.
Yes, go vote in our poll.
Okay, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Cool.
And then there were two.
And then there were two. And then, well, 2.5.
2.5, yeah.
2.5. There was one thing, or how did you guys feel about Sarah said, "Vote. We hunt the flame," and that's what I want too. I'm like, please, I want to read the book. I want an excuse. But how did you feel about Gray's character? Because I found it kind of interesting of how he was kind of a servant to Ren during the time, and he wasn't really bound by the curse. So, like, his actions.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird because, I mean, I guess he's just, like, a super good person. But, like, it is weird. Like, their relationship's kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's, like, literally does, like, will do anything for Ren. But I feel like that also, like, kind of makes him a doormat. Because sometimes, like, the way Ren, like, treated him and stuff, and, like, implying that, or, like, accusing him of trying to steal, Harper, like, trying to, like, flirt with Harper or whatever, and he doesn't really, like, stand up for himself, because he's like, oh, I work for you.
Yeah, and you're like, okay. And I don't know. And then at, like, one point, he just randomly was kind of like, whenever he was with Harper, he wouldn't, I guess, as listen to Ren as he normally did. And I'm like, I'm surprised, like, we're not talking about this very much.
Right.
And then, like, at some point, he was like, nah, you're my queen.
Sarah,
This is, I love you, right? The love of my life.
my dark and brooding king.
On the tough is the outside, a cinnamon roll on the
That's
inside.
true.
Yeah, he is a little
I
cinnamon
think he
roll.
was more interesting than Ren. And, like,
I personally, I love
a
him.
better person. Ren, like, he was interesting, but maybe it's, like, his, the chapters from his perspective were, like, never my favorite. And so I'm wondering, like, if I liked Gray better just because we never got, like, inside of his head, you know?
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
there's, like, less potential for me to get annoyed.
I feel you. For me, when I was reading the perspectives, I was, like, really annoyed by Harper. So then I was like, Ren, hello, save me. And it was just, like, really, I don't know why, because, like, everything that Ren did, I understood completely on why he did it.
Mm-hmm.
And everything, like, all of his actions made sense with what he's been through. So he had a lot of, like, he just made sense to me. Like, so then when I saw Gray's perspective, since I didn't know exactly how he felt or his past, I didn't really feel for him as much.
Right.
Or feel for his actions as much.
Mm-hmm.
I still love him. He's still great. I think me and Sarah were talking about on Twitter how we want a fan art of Ren and Gray fighting.
Yes.
And, like, I would pay for that. Put it on my wall. It would be so cute. Oh my gosh.
I feel like that's always the danger with dual perspective, though, is I feel like most times there's always one of them that, like, I much prefer over the other one.
True. And Harper was not that for me.
Harper was, like, barely that for me. That's probably why I gave it a 3.5, because I was like, both of them, I don't know. I kind of wished it was, like, in third person or, like, first person the whole time. I don't know.
I felt like during all of it, I felt like Harper only cared about herself, and she said she cared about, like, her brother, but I feel like she really didn't. I feel like she more cared about her mom, and that was it. Especially, I noticed after her mom died, I didn't really see a lot of emotion. I didn't see a lot of, like, oh, I'm sad. She just kind of died, and we're like, oh, cool, let's move on. Like, I felt like if I missed that chapter, I wouldn't totally have not known that their mom died.
And it's weird, too, because she made such a big deal, like, the whole book of, like, I need to get home. And then she goes home, and, like, 2 seconds later, she's like, never mind, I want to go back. Like, okay.
You're like, what the fuck was all that about this book?
Yeah, literally. I was like, okay. Interesting.
Like, okay. She also had a lot of sections especially in the front, where she has a lot of I'm not like other girls kind of moments. And I was like,
yes, it was annoying.
It was so annoying. She was like, so like other girls. I'm like, I swear to God. And she would have moments where she would kind of get like jealous of Ryan. She's like, "Oh, did you do that with other girls? Did you do that with other girls?" And I'm like, "You don't even like him. What do you?"
Yeah. Yeah, that was really convenient that her mother died at that time. Like,
it was very convenient.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the whole side plot with her brother was like kind of unnecessary.
Mm-hmm. It didn't really add anything to the story, especially because they kind of forgot about it.
Yeah, and then it's like her whole story ended up like helping him to solve his problem, I guess. But I was like, he didn't need to be there with that problem in the first place.
I feel like the whole book she was just trying to help other people or help two dudes solve their own problems so she wouldn't have to think about her own.
Yeah.
And I guess I get it, but it still irritates me.
Yeah.
Especially because she's self-aware about it and she's still like, I'm still going to do it. I'm like, no. No. Sarah just said, I love how we all gave this book high ratings but are talking about the annoying junk. Well, it's not fun if we're just like, oh, I like this, because I feel like we all are, even if you like rate something 5 stars, it's still like that one thing you're like, bro, but this is one part didn't do it for me. And
I couldn't even tell you like specific parts I think that I liked.
Mm-hmm.
It was just those. Do you ever read a book and you're like, I liked it for like the general like vibes it gave me, but like there's nothing specific? That was totally me, because then I'm like, I rated it 3.5 because I was annoyed with a bunch of stuff, so I didn't give it a 5. But I'm like, I don't know, like I can't really explain why I liked it besides like specific, like the disability rep was cool. But other than that, like, I'm like, I don't know. I can't explain why I liked it. But, like, I mean, I thought it was good. I didn't think it was, like, amazing. But...
True.
Yeah,
also,
I don't know.
Was there a reason why, like, Jake was her brother? Was there a reason why why we even had to talk about his boyfriend at all? He literally added, like, nothing to the story?
Yeah, no, he added absolutely nothing. I feel like
nothing.
I feel like it was just thrown in there to be like, oh, by the way, here's some representation too.
Yeah, because he like at the end he helped with aiding like the wounded, but you literally could have put like anybody in there and it wouldn't have changed anything.
Yeah.
And it was just annoying. I just felt Jake annoying when we saw him at the end. I'm like, please go away. Like I really didn't like him at the end.
Yeah, same.
Also, was it weird that is it me or did the ending battle feel rushed?
It did. I felt like the whole like it was building up to that for like hundreds of pages, and then I was scared we weren't going to get there because like halfway through reading it, I found out it was a series, and I was like, I swear to God, if we don't get to this battle at the end of the book, I'm going to be so mad. And then it was like 10 pages? Yeah, 20 pages? It was weird.
It was really weird. And I think that this would have been better if, let's say, instead of this being a 500-page book, it was about 350-page book. And instead of being like a whole series, you can change it into a duology.
Yes.
And then have it to like have part of the battle at the ending and then cut it off as in like something dramatic happens. So you have that cliffhanger. And then the next part of the book is going to be like the rest of the battle and the repercussions of that battle.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I love to see repercussions of battle. I don't know why. Of like battles in fantasy. Yes. I like to see what happens. I don't know why. I'm like, because there's always like, okay, well, how are we going to fix the economy? How are we going to fix all this shit? And I'm always curious.
Yeah, I love all that too. Sarah, I wish you were on video so that you could talk about all of your romance stuff. Because I have nothing to say about it.
The best part where I was generally like, yes, war, was when the guy was shooting her with arrows. Yeah.
Yeah, that was, yes.
That was great.
That was great.
I really liked that. There was one thing I was confused about, and I feel like I never really got an answer to it, so it said that in terms of the passage of time, for Red and Gray, it said that outside the castle it had been about 5 years. But like, how long was it in the castle? Because they mentioned that
Yeah.
time went by slightly faster outside, but like how
Mhm.
long had it actually been? Like he said that there would have been at least like 100 women, and if you think about it, 100 women, 3 seasons, that's a lot of fucking time.
I know. I feel like the whole thing was never really explained. Like it wasn't explained how exactly like she was stolen.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of happens, and then the whole like time thing wasn't really a factor, except like on like the like her side of it was, but not like within the kingdom. It's like how long has it been?
Yeah,
Who knows?
really was inconsistent about that.
Yeah.
It would say like at some point, oh, there's been hundreds, or like it was just weird, and I don't know how to feel about it. And also, like, did no one come to the castle and was like, yo, why is shit enchanted? Why is their music always ringing out? And like, what was their explanation for it? I don't. Because I know people came, but I feel like they didn't really actually give them an explanation saying, oh, this is enchanted because blank, blank, blank.
Right. Yeah.
Did they just accept it? They just accept that the castle was enchanted?
Yeah, the seasons thing was confusing. Every time he dies, the season restarts.
But how many times?
Yeah, do they say how many times he died?
It said it a couple times that he had. He said he tried to kill multiple times, a lot throughout the seasons. I remember that.
Yeah.
And at some point, I know that sometimes the whole like they wouldn't use the whole season up the entire time, but also like, but how many seasons actually happened?
Yeah.
We just get kind of a lot, but you're like, but how much really is a lot? Is it like 30? Is it 300? Like, those are 2 different numbers.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, Neva said like 300-ish.
Oh, wow.
Good to know. I missed that.
When he tried to...
Last time I cried like a baby. Oh, that point at the end where he like jumped off the cliff real quick, I was like, what? And then he like grew wings, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
It just felt weird. So, did you like how at the end how the curse was actually broken? Of how they decided to do that?
I think so. I was fine with it.
Because I remember at first I was hella confused. I was like, what?
Yeah, I had to reread like a couple pages because I was like, excuse me?
I did. I'm like, wait, okay, why is she in a coma? Like, what
Yeah,
happened actually?
I don't know. I thought it was okay. I didn't dislike it, but I wasn't also like amazed by it, you know?
Yeah, and I feel like they kind of left it open to saying that, I don't know, but like, there was like a part at the end where Gray was talking in his epilogue saying like, oh, I don't know if Lilith actually died.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, then how did the curse break? Because literally a chapter before, Harper said that she didn't know if she was in love with him. So like, what actually did break the curse?
Yeah.
Like,
now I can't remember what I had thought. Because I remember being confused, and I think I just like convinced myself that I was like, oh, it's this.
Oh yeah.
But I feel like I don't know.
Also, it felt weird that at the end, Gray was like, "Oh yeah, I just don't want to." Like he was like, "I'm just gonna go off and be myself instead of, and just pretend I'm not Gray anymore instead of like go back to the castle." And I was kind of confused by that. At least to not go back for like a day and like tell them like, yo, this is what's happening to me, and give them some insight, because that's going to be a thing where they're going to talk about all that, and that's going to annoy me.
Yeah, he's just like, okay, bye.
Sarah said, what do you guys think about the secondary characters?
I really liked, I can't remember anyone's name because I read this like 3.5 weeks ago, but I really liked all the people at the inn.
Oh, she said Freya, Zoe, Jameson, or the inn people. I think the inn people made that part interesting and really made us see a little more into Ren, because they were kind of they were low-key like trashing the monarchy. And
Yes.
it's very interesting to see like how Ren would have responded to it. I feel like it showed a lot of his character.
Yeah, I really liked like all the scenes at the end were like some of my favorite ones for sure.
Oh yeah.
Freya, I thought Freya was cool. I thought she was cooler than Harper.
Oh, definitely. I would love to see Freya's perspective.
Same. I was like, oh my god, she's so much better.
Can I get a novella of Freya's perspective? Because she seems like she's shit.
Seriously.
Like, I'm into that. And
who was Jameson?
He was the one-armed lieutenant that went in with.
I liked him.
Like, I understood him, but I felt like, I don't know. Like, I can understand why Gray wasn't a fan of him, but I'm also like, you don't have any other choice than to work with him. So, like, I don't know why you're being like this.
That's true, yeah.
So, but I don't know. I feel like he didn't add too much to the story.
He didn't add anything.
But yeah, by the end, if you like you totally forgot he existed. Exactly.
Yeah, I did for sure.
And then Zoe, I wonder why she didn't come in earlier. I guess.
I know. I wish she had.
Yeah, I feel like we only saw her really at the end, and I wish we could have gotten a little more of her because I feel like she added some extra stuff to it. But
yeah, for sure.
I'm going to be orange. Pretend I'm not gray anymore. That'd be hilarious. I'm not gray anymore. I am purple. That's his name now. He's gonna be purple now.
I loved Zoe.
I hope she's more permanent in the next one. Yeah, I'm curious to see what the next. Like, if you asked me what the next book is going to be about, I literally couldn't tell you.
I'm scared it's gonna be like, oh, Lilith's not dead.
It feels like it's gonna be a filler book, and then the ending's gonna be Lilith's not dead, and that's gonna annoy the shit out of me.
I know.
If we're just gonna see probably Ren and Harper developing their feelings to see if that's gonna work, and see how the kingdom, like trying to bring the kingdom back, and then Gray doing his own shit somewhere else. I don't know what he's gonna be doing, surviving. I don't even know what that's gonna entail, because I know we're gonna get his perspective from him.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I know he's gonna get a love interest, but I don't know how that's all gonna work. And what is gonna happen to Harper's brother and his boyfriend? Because they're now in that world.
Yeah.
So they must have like some reason to be there, or she wouldn't have even left them there, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. Her brother's so annoying.
So freaking annoying. Oh my gosh. Even at the beginning part of this, I was like, I probably would punch her brother.
Yes.
And because all of his actions saying like, I'm doing this for everyone else, but it just didn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Is she shipping Zoe and Grayo? I mean, I could see it. Actually.
Yeah.
I think that would be cute. I would read some fanfic about that.
I just want Gray to be happy.
I want him to be happy.
He deserves it.
Happiness. Gonna be irritating the next one, just bothering her and making her feel guilty for trapping them there. Oh, probably. Oh, he was already Noah, that was his name, was talking about, especially and Jake talking about, I don't want to be here, like I just want to go home, and they're gonna keep making shit about it, and it's gonna be annoying. When does the next book come out? Next year? Maybe
that's a good question.
Because like, do I have to wait for
probably?
Sarah said she's gonna write the Gray and Zoe fan fiction.
I will read it.
The day you release it, send it to me. I will read it that day.
Yes.
Sounds great. Cool. Let's see. Anything else to talk about? I'm trying to think. Let me think. So wait. So I was confused for kind of a bit of it of how the country was still not invaded after 5 years in with nothing happening? Like how, or did we get no uprisings? You know, like, because what I imagine our country now, and we just didn't hear shit from the president or Congress or anything for 5 years. Like, I know
it is
different, but
it is weird because, like, yeah, like why are all the people okay with like not knowing what the heck's going on with their government?
yeah, like, it doesn't even have to be the intricacy. Just be like, yo, what happened?
Yeah.
Where are they? Who's actually governing us? Like, what's going on? Oh yeah, it says what made no sense was that he had no communication with his borders. Yeah, that.
I know, the people could have overthrown him so easily.
So easily.
5 years, and they never did, which makes no sense. Like, not that they would have a reason to, but you think they'd get people coming to the castle and being like, what the heck's going on?
Be like, yo, I went home, like.
Yeah, where's your dad? What's happening?
Yeah, like, we haven't seen nothing. Like, I feel like no one really questioned where the king was. They were like, oh, he's gone. They're like, oh, that's fine.
Yeah, he's just been gone forever, but no big deal.
Also, they would, like, talk to people, like, because, you know, that whole subplot of, totally lost my train of thought, of Harper, like, lying, saying that, like, oh, yeah, she's a princess. Was there not, like, one, like, map maker in, like, that one city they went to and was like, yo, I don't have a map of this. Are you sure this exists? Or, like, something like that? Like, I feel like they had no one coming up to him and being like, yo, this doesn't make sense, or...
It's weird how, like, quickly everyone was, like, on board with her being a princess.
True.
Like, no one guessed it. Like, no one questioned it, I mean. Like, it's just weird. Like, you haven't heard from the government in forever, and all of a sudden, like, the prince is like, hey, I'm gonna marry this girl from this other land, and they're just like, oh, okay, for sure. Just like, okay.
True, but the only time it was mentioned, like what Sarah said, was like when Karis and Ren were talking, and she was like saying all this shit, and he was just sitting there like, oh fuck, I wasn't expecting you to out me like this.
Yeah.
Which I thought was great, because I was like, yeah, I was having these concerns this entire time, and we're not going to talk about it. Yeah. It says, yeah, I doubt his people are that gullible. Like, there's not one person saying, are you sure you're actually who you say you are?
Yeah.
Like, that's a little bit of a plot hole, like, just a little bit.
Just a little bit, yeah.
It's enough to be annoying, but not enough for me to riot about.
Exactly.
She was calling him out. She was. That whole chapter, I was like, ooh, girl, shit, okay. That was an interesting chapter, especially when he started with the first line or something. It was like, bring your father, boy, or something. And I was like,
yes.
Oh, I was like, oh, we starting.
And I was like, why didn't someone do this like 5 years ago?
I know, and I was like, where was this? I don't know. It felt like her character I wonder if we're going to see her again, because she was there for that one scene and then, like, never came back. But we kept hearing about her throughout the entire thing.
Yeah, and it was weird because, I don't know, like, half the book, I feel like, was, like, focused on breaking the curse, but then they added this whole, like, plot of, like, an invasion, and I don't know, it was just, it was kind of weird, and then, like, yeah, Karis, like, that whole thing came out of nowhere. We don't know who she is. We don't know that much about her, and so I don't know, that felt really underdeveloped, and then all of a sudden it's like this war and then it's done, and I was like, wait, what happened? Who is this?
Yeah, the whole political intrigue part was like really rushed, or like just felt underdeveloped. Like, I understand, but like if you're gonna add it, at least add a little bit more to it so the side plot makes sense.
Yeah, I felt like there definitely should have been more like political stuff happening sooner.
Definitely. She said, but it makes no sense that she's like that at the meeting, but during the whole time she wasn't confrontational at all. Like, no way she's like that and then didn't do something before or more in the end. That's true. She did mention, she was like, oh, I wondered why the king just stopped sending me stipends like 5 years ago. Yeah. Like, you know how to send a letter and asking, yo, where's the money at? Or like send someone who's being like, yo, what's going on? Like, none of that. Like, okay.
Yeah, that was really weird.
It was super weird. Didn't hear about anything from the war except for what Lilith was saying. That's true. We didn't really get to see what the war was actually happening. I think we just heard a remnants of like that one border town and what Jameson was talking about from like a year prior. But then I was also like, that's a year ago, so I don't know if that's still going, you know?
Right.
So I was kind of like, I'm just not gonna think about that one. But even though they brought it up multiple times, I'm like, that was a year ago. Can I get some new information?
Exactly.
Oh, it was annoying.
Yeah.
I can't.
Trying to think. I don't know if I have anything else to talk about.
I know. I'm trying to think. I'm like, what else pissed me off? Let's see. I don't know.
Sarah, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
It says, yeah, it was all with the monster, then destroying. Oh, we never talked about the monster.
I thought it was cool that it like changes forms.
Each season.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
What he was like? What, half dragon, half horse this season or something?
I think.
Something. I know he was winged, but he was described as like horse-like in a couple times. So I was like, how big was this?
It was just weird because I feel like the way that they dragged out the whole like Ren is the monster thing. It like dragged on for way too long. Because I was like,
also,
it's not the same when we have his perspective, so we already know that he's the monster, but then they just drag it out on Harper's side for so long, and I'm like, we get it, just tell her already, like, oh my god.
Really? Oh god. So, I don't know if y'all remember, but this was about, I want to say it was like 30% of the way, and they were talking about like, oh, what's actually the curse? Like, what does he actually have to like do to break it? And Harper was like, oh, you just gotta fall in love with someone, isn't that it? And she was like, okay, she obviously knows how Beauty and the Beast is supposed to go. So how is she not able to see that Ren is the monster?
Yes.
I was sitting there, I was like, that's just a logical conclusion to come to. Like, because they mentioned Aragon, Game of Thrones, there was another thing that, Harry Potter. They mentioned all of these books, so their time is still our time. So I highly doubt that she's not heard of the Beauty and the Beast telling.
Yes.
So like, why is she
self-aware?
Yeah. See, I better get a gray perspective next book.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
I know there's going to be. I think Brigid Kemmerer talked about how Gray was getting his own perspective. Which would make
really?
Sense. Yeah. It said on good, because I logged I read Underleads, yeah. And there was one thing that I actually really liked about this. Oh shoot, where was it? At least towards the end, I liked how it started having these monster parts of the chapter. I don't know why. I thought
that was that was so cool.
Yeah, like where he just like he would change into the monster, and then it would have those points and say like, "Hey, destroy," and then you would get certain sections where he was like, "Oh yeah," you could see he actually recognizes Harper.
Yes.
And then you see that the curse actually broke when you see the next chapter actually says Ren on it instead of monster, and you're like, "Oh shit."
Yes, that was really cool.
That was cool. I liked how that happened at the end. I feel like it added to, I guess, the suspense or just the atmosphere, like the feels.
Yes, it did, for sure.
So that's all I want. Swap out Harper and add Zoe. Yes.
Yeah, it's really annoying that Harper was obnoxious for, like, at least half of it.
Sure. I feel like she was the big pull for the book, but I feel like we all just don't like her very much.
It bothers me when, like, female authors write female characters who are like, I'm not like other girls.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, come on.
Those are literally only the books I've been reading this month, and I'm just once I got started this book, I got tired of it. I was like, "Yo, I need to pick up a book that doesn't have a I'm different kind of main character. Like I'm tired of it. So annoying. Awesome.
That is annoying. The main characters are always victims to the plot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. All dark and blue. See. Anything else?
I can't think of anything else.
I can't either. Sarah, do you have anything else?
I think we're almost at an hour.
I don't even know.
I think our live chat's at 54 minutes right now.
Oh, wow. That makes sense. I loved Emika and that's Warcross.
I was like, I do not remember that character in this book.
I know, I was like, who's Emika? And I was like, oh, I haven't read Warcross. That makes sense. Gotcha. Cool. Okay.
As of right now, I think We Hunt the Flame is in the lead.
We stan. I'm excited. Like, I hope that one wins.
I think I set it for 5 days, so I think we still have like a full day.
Oh, okay.
It's just crazy, like, it's crazy how close those two are.
I know, like, I literally haven't heard of her work. Well, okay, I have heard of it, but I didn't hear about it until, like, I feel like last month. And I don't know why.
I literally didn't hear about it until you were talking about it on Twitter, like, right before I posted that.
I know, like, it was weird. I didn't understand why I don't know. Have you read, like, their other series, Illuminae?
No, I haven't.
See, I own the first 2 books because they're on sale at Target, and then I read like the first like 50 pages, and I stopped reading it for some reason, and I don't remember why. And then I got rid of both of the books. so I guess I didn't like it enough. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm genuinely interested in reading all of our choices this month.
Me too. I think they're all on my non-existent TBR.
Same.
Because I got rid of that.
Illuminae looks lame. Yeah, it just doesn't sound like something I would be interested in, and it's also really long.
Yeah,
it's like too long.
Yeah, as someone who likes sci-fi, it just didn't do it for me. I don't know what it was. Like those 50 pages didn't keep me engaged enough to continue. Mm-hmm. Also, I had the hardcover editions, and I don't know what it was, but that flimsy ass plastic. You know that plastic I'm talking about that went on top around the hardcovers?
Yes.
It was oh my god, so freaking annoying. So reading it was like the most annoying thing. I lost the dust jacket for the first one, so I was like, okay, this is super annoying. So I just took off the dust jacket for the second one.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That's really annoying.
So annoying. Non-existent TBR.
So, yeah, I guess we'll wrap it up here. I'm assuming next month's live show will be the last Sunday as well.
Probably. Where's my phone? Oh, I'm looking at my phone. I was going to check exactly what day that was.
Yes.
That is June 30th, the last day of the month.
Cool. Good. That'll give us more time to read the book.
Hopefully I don't binge read it all the night before like the last 2 times. I'm determined this time. I started this one like literally a week ago. Got 100 pages in and then stopped.
I feel like I'm going to probably start it like on the 15th. Like I'll start it halfway through the month. In case I'm slow about it, because I feel like this month I read it too soon, too early. So it's not like fresh in my head anymore, but then last month I finished it like 5 minutes before the show, so.
True. Like this
there's
time
no between.
I'll probably start it because I get back from vacation on the 12th, so I'll probably start it then.
Oh, Sarah's moving.
Which way? On the 30th? We can do it the weekend before.
What day
do it
is
on the
that?
23rd?
The 23rd?
Mm-hmm. That Sunday beforehand?
I think I'm free that day. We can plan for that.
Yeah. I was like, because that still gives us a good amount of time, because usually, like, today's the 26th. So I think that still gives us time.
Yeah, I think so too. And it will be, I'm assuming it'll be on Mia's channel next month.
Probably.
Hopefully that day works for her.
Hopefully. She said any
Saturday?
other... That one's a Sunday, but we could always do this on that Saturday beforehand, the 29th, whatever works for people. I might work that day though. I never
You have work on the
Hmm?
You have work on the 29th?
I work every day except Thursdays and Sundays.
Oh, okay.
So I would definitely, and I usually work mornings on that day, so I usually don't get out of work until 3 o'clock, which is usually when this live stream would be in my time. So
Okay. Cool. Well, we'll figure it out then.
That's how the gods love me then.
I hope so too.
I hope so. This is so sad. We're gonna figure this out.
Yeah, okay. Well, I guess that's it. I need to figure out how to hopefully put a cute Page Dweller's thumbnail on this live show.
True. I told her to do
So
that on the
we'll
other one.
see.
It just has Mia's face. It's just Mia's face. But yeah.
Okay. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for making this comment section so fun.
It was great.
I guess that's it. Stay tuned. I think either tomorrow or Tuesday is when the poll will be over. So we'll announce what book we're reading for June. And I guess that's it.
All right, cool. Bye, guys.
Bye.